You're listening to In the Pod, Soybean Updates, a weekly trek into the latest soybean information from NDSU Extension. Before planting soybeans, it's a good idea to get a jump on those nasty pathogens. So today, we're talking about seed treatment with Wade Webster, NDSU Extension plant pathologist. Wade, what sort of seedling disease risk is out there?
Yeah, so as we go into the 2026 growing season, one of the things that we're going to have to focus on, think about, is those seedling diseases that we deal with early in the season. Across most of the state right now in the region, we have plenty of soil moisture going into planting season, so my expectation is that we will have some seedling disease pressure. Now, these seedling diseases, they are multi-groups. First, we have our true fungi, which are Rhizoctonia and Fusarium species. Now, those are not the same as the Pythium and Phytophthoras. Those are what we call water molds. And those are different groups of organisms which are going to be important for making management decisions.
What's the best way to fight those diseases?
Yeah, so to manage those seedling diseases, we unfortunately don't have a lot of genetic resistance. So our varieties are generally susceptible to all of those except for Phytophthora. Phytophthora, we do have some resistance genes called RPS, or field tolerance. However, those field tolerance, that does not take effect until about the V2 growth stage, so it doesn't help with that protection of the seed and the initial seedling itself. Now, we do have chemical seed treatments or fungicides that can be useful for these, and that is going to be really beneficial. These seed treatments, they can essentially protect that seed for up to about 2 weeks, but after 2 weeks, we don't see the efficacy of that product last any longer than that.
Are seed treatments all the same?
Yes, seed treatments are not all the same. And this is what one of the important parts is because depending on which pathogens we have, if they're true fungi, we're going to need different products than if we're dealing with water molds. There are two different groups. We have fungicides and what we call oomycides for these water mold pathogens. If we have a seed treatment, which most of our soybean varieties will have as we go in to buy those seed, we may need to do a topper-upper. So understanding of what is actually on that seed for that seed treatment is important because if we know we have had issues with Pythium or Phytophthora in the past, we may need to add an additional product on top of that seed treatment for full coverage.
Wade, are there any other pathogens you can use seed treatment for?
One of the additional pathogens that is oftentimes overlooked early season with seed treatments is Soybean Cyst Nematode. Now, SCN is one of the major issues that we deal with, and seed treatments may be a good option for these. Thankfully, we do have a couple of products that show consistently some favorable results, especially with yield response in many field trials. And so these are Alivo and Saltro, and then we also have a new product on market this year called Victrado. All three of those products are all fairly comparable within our trials, and we do see good control of that SCN. However, these products, just like our fungicides, these are only going to last for about 2.5 weeks of activity. So it's not going to completely eliminate that SCN that's in the field, but it will slow down that first generation.
Wade, how can farmers learn more about seed treatments?
Yeah, so seed treatments are all available through the NDSU Plant Disease Management Guide. We have all the fungicide and seed treatment recommendations that are in there and everything that is commercially available. Another great resource is the Crop Protection Network. We have our soybean seedling fungicide efficacy tables on there that help break down each active ingredient and the efficacy rating that we give for those products for each particular pathogen.
Thanks, Wade. Our guest has been Wade Webster, NDSU Extension plant pathologist. You're listening to In the Pod, Soybean Updates, a weekly trek into the latest soybean information from NDSU Extension, supported by the North Dakota Soybean Council.